nations. I don't believe in tribes. I don't believe in race. There is one race. It's the human race. And as a humanist, I cannot purport and work hard to say I have to work for this race or that race. Firstly, I want to make a serious comment. They speak very vauntedly about the constitution of this country. It is a racist constitution. It acknowledges race, white race, black African race, Indian race, colored race. Then it has another box called other. And who is the other? I think now the KhoiSan has become the other. The other that is invisible to this country. Invisible. And this invisibility has now been given down to people called the coloreds, the mulattoes, the mixed bloods. NgesiXhosa bathi amaqheya, NgesiXhosa bathi amalawu, meaning mongrels. So these are important appellations that go with being invisible. Ralph Ellison wrote many years ago, 1945-46, a book that changed the thinking of African Americans called The Invisible Man. We have become invisible. Sometimes even opaque. So it is important that this meeting becomes the trendsetter of new thought, of new thinking. It is important for us to go back in history, how 1652, how 1510, we sent our bulls and our cattle to drive the Alameda back into the sea. How in 1388 the Romans came. How so many of them came and they took what we were and they changed what we were supposed to become. So we have become a soulless people. A people without spirit because of the shenanigans of the British, the Dutch especially, and many others. So what we have now, we have to seriously contend with the fact that we are Africans first. First humans first. First human in Africa. And as in Africans, we have a responsibility to the continuity of the liberation of the continent, its mineral wealth, its culture. Our blood stretches deep into the Hebrews. Our blood stretches deep among the Egyptians, long down into China, in among the Indians.
Yes.
All they count our blood. But we have accepted to be the lost people, the lost tribe, the forgotten ones, the ones who you look right through and you see they don't have a soul, they don't have a heart. And once they think that of you, then the human value that you're supposed to possess vanishes and you become a nothing. Dr Mattera writes in one of his poems, Degrees, he says, there is no pain quite like being unloved, unwanted, among one's own, in one's own land. Will the tumor in our fevered minds ever cease their violent throbbing? Will laughter ever flow from the veins of our hearts and our minds and our pens? Because there is no pain quite like being unloved, unwanted among one's own, in one's own land. Who are the colors? How? What is a colored? Yini Busman, yini Hottentot. They say that. And so the Buddha come and they call us half Nikes. They spit in our face. And we accept the spit as a kindness. The time has come. The time has long time come for us to reclaim our humanity first. Our peopleness, our humanness first. And recognize ourselves as an international entity, not a special species. Our blood flows through the waters of the seas, to the shores of the world. And yet we are apologetic about who we are. The Griquas say they are better than the others. The San says, who are they? The KhoiSan says this. The KhoiSan, the Khoi said this. Isn't it time for a new thinking, a proper thinking, under good leadership, young leadership, so that we can reclaim? I am not supposed to say this. I went to the Ingao, KhoiSan. I went through the blood, the fire, and the water. I made an effigy, a copy of my ID, and I burnt it, because that is not me. I am KhoiSan Xhosa. I am KhoiSan Italiano. I am KhoiSan Motswana. I am KhoiSan Shangaan. All the bloods of these people flow through me. So I will read that about, is it not strange that we are nothing today? Is it not strange? Is it not strange that this small lives that we live, we are still querulous? This one unrelenting breath, Lord's one eternal, all-powerful creator, one Allah, one God, worthy of worship alone, most merciful, most compassionate, one humanity, one world. We are children of Africa. We are the fruit of Azania. We are liberated but still in shackles, a son of Mattera and Lebake clans. One Islam, one glorious Quran, one Muhammad, a great prophet vilified, one Jesus crucified, resurrected, many prophets, many parts, one God. This one small lives, this your lives, defined in both religions. In no religion we exist. Strange is it not that in my own kindred, among my own children, among my people, among my country, in my continent, I'm sacrificed. My illustrious leaders, like others, compromised. This genealogy, this mixture that we have, this glorious confluence, uncelebrated, unwelcome in our own country. Khoi, Xhosa. Tswana, Italian roots combined. Many cultures coalesced, defined. My world, your world divided, rejected, consigned. Strange is it not? Tyranny, struggle, sacrifice. Freedom, forgiveness, but But we are not concerned. Not concerned. They speak about reconciliation as if there was conciliation. There was never conciliation. So how can it be conciliation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Yes.
Yes. Now, we sitting here, we have to let our memory become struggle. We must not allow our sacrifice to go in vain all over again. Strange, is it not? They are free, but we are not. So it is important for you to speak to your children. Tell them, Dr Mattera says, that they are the best of God's creation. We are not the stepchildren of God. We are the best of God's creation. I will read a small chapter. 1652, 2016. 364 years. Khoi has outlived the genocide. Hulle wil ons vrek gemaak het. Die Nederlanders, die Brits en allemaal, hier sit ons nog. Maar wat sit hier so? Wie sit hier so? Is die ding, die nerpen wat ons moet kyk. Khoi saw their ships crawling to our stormy shore on the belligerent belly of a searing, angry sea. Waves grumbling over the intrusion of the long-haired jackals, just like the night of the fateful arrival. When the wailing winds whipped against the Khoi huts, hurling stones and polluted dust into the dreams of Khoi children. 1652, April 6, the orange vermin sailed to the shores of Khoi land. Behold you, with your discerning minds. The jackals said they came in peace, our water to drink, their thirst to appease, our food to eat, their bodies to rest, and soothe their weary yearning hearts. But then when the moon was dark, they raised their orange flags with zest and declared Khoi land their own. 1652, April 6, the orange vermin's lies filled the Khoi skies. Daughters and sons of Khoi land, gunsmoke choked the skies when the First Nation rose in arms against the orange intruders with their long jackal hair and beady, treacherous eyes. 1652, they lied and said they came as friends. Thousands of small-poxed Khoi fought bravely their land to defend. Women, children lay dead. Guns against bows and arrows staining the sand. Hawks and vultures killing young sparrows. Flags orange fluttered on Khoi heels, the blood of the innocents flowing spills. After 1652, our people died in the sacred place called Khoi land, and so began the Dutchman's crusade of Khoi genocide. 1652. Then apartheid was born after 1948. The systematic scheme to wipe the Khoi uprising from history to a mere pipe dream of a colored people conspiracy. A decision made, Khoi leaders defied, just another name for genocide. The glory story of Khoi resistance had to die. The land that first was Khoi in name, the Buddha had to destroy through the Hottentot colored name. And so the South African story goes. First the jackals of Holland, the name tag of Hottentot applied. The final objective, Khoi's ultimate genocide. then the bankrupt British bullies, whose imperial fetish was the mineral wealth depleted. Their satanic design they could not hide. The end result must be Khoi genocide. You were earmarked for genocide.
Yeah.
Remember how apartheid's murdering Boere with their machine guns and Roere, their police and army Moere, whether our people laughed or cried, they never forgot that the Hottentot that went by the name of Khoi must be earmarked for genocide. And now, in so-called freedom time, preserved by God, the Khoi nation, despite the subtle degradation, the exclusion and frustration, walk in the warm red blood of the Lamb, pass through the circle of the cleansing fire, wash their Khoi feet in holy water, taste the bitter gall of the past, taste the sweetness of Khoi culture, cleansed, reborn, renewed by the sacred vow of the ancient now. Arise, awake, Khoi child, Khoi leaders. Your time has come. Your moment in history, glowing in the new dawn that these young people want to design. A people reborn, undefiled, conscious, ready, unconquered be. Arise, sons and daughters of KhoiSan. You can help to set the other tribes free. 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 But you must find yourself. You must know yourself. You must love yourself. And be yourself. You can't be an American. You can't be a British. You can't be anything else but yourself. Love yourself. The sacred Ingao has helped me, has made me understand that you seated here and those in the mountains in Khoi land are the best that God has fashioned. They are the best that God has created with his holy hand. Arise, daughters and sons of Khoi land. Abide, arise, and conquer. You have survived. You have outlived history's evil genocide. I want to challenge you now about your humanity. If you walk the streets of South Africa, 11 million South Africans sleep on the streets of South Africa. 11 million. On the railway tracks, under the bridges, lost in this twirl and lie of liberation. They pick up plastic wherever they go, papers. They walk, they drag their feet like zombies, soulless, spiritless. They take a piece of bread lying in a bin, they eat, but they are liberated. They stand in long queues waiting for the pittance, but they are liberated. So Dr Mattera writes in one of his poems, I see them. I see them every day, everywhere. Non-people in non-transition, moving, shifting, going nowhere. Trapped in twilight zones of vacuous expectation, waiting between nothing and nothing. I see them I know them. I am among them, seeking veracity, but trapped on the periphery of foreign norms and values and doublespeak. Find them not in boardrooms of decision making, nor in marble halls and fine dineries, but in sanctuaries of prayer, supplicating the void expanse for meaning, chanting dry their flaccid lungs, emptying their hearts in avid exhortation, calling on gods that are not there, nor here, nor anywhere. I see them. I know them. I am them. A people who have been lied to.
Wow! Wow!